Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. And how are you? What's up, guys? Okay. Ooh, look, I have a pimple right there. Ugh, ignore that. Ignore that. Okay, so today I'll be watching the first spin-off of Vampire Diaries, the originals. So it'll be season 1, episode 1, and season 1, episode 22, the last episode of season 1. So I'll be doing that with this type of show, these type of shows that have more than one season and so many episodes. Well, I'll just do each season, first and last episode, and see if I can predict or guess what happened throughout the whole season, which most of the time with Vampire Diaries, it does happen that way, honestly. Seriously. Okay, without wasting any time, let's go. Let's watch some vampires. 300 years ago. I wasn't even born yet.
What do you make?
Coffins. You know the stupidest thing about someone running away is like you running away, you see this thing happening, you're running away, and then you still look backwards. Why are you looking? And he's stopping to look backwards. It's like, it's stupid.
You'll remember nothing.
I will remember nothing.
What is that again? Illusion? Oh, I need to.
We're vampires, darling. The original vampires. Elijah. And our half-brother, Klaus.
What's weird to me is that how come the brother is English, British, whatever, and the rest of the family have Americans, and I know he's a half-brother, but they grew up together, didn't they? I think they grew up together, right? So why does he have a different accent and they have, but couldn't he fake an American? A lot of people do it. A lot of people fake accents. Sometimes not so great. So this is New Orleans, no? Okay. I think it's still a time frame. Or is it? Oh no, it's not.
Oh, my brother's here somewhere. I'm afraid he might have gotten himself into a bit of a bind.
Monsters that feed off human blood. Vengeful spirits of the dead.
I'm a black person, you know what I mean, as you can tell. Like I could never go at night. You're going on a tour at night, and there's drunk people out here, and you go on a tour to be told that the monsters and people who eat blood, drink blood.
Someone by the name of Jane Ann Devereux.
He's hot though.
Well, if he's looking for Jane Ann, he's a little late.
Did she die right in the middle of the streets? She's dead just in the middle of the streets, and yet you're giving tours to random people, civilians.
You're about to get your first glimpse of Marcel in action.
The vampire Marcel?
No,
Changed since your
not the vampire Marcel. Oh, I want to be sarcastic. I love sarcastic people, sarcastic jokes, you know. But I can't. I cannot be a Dorothy. I cannot be a Dorothy Zbornak. I try so hard, but I just can't. And I love me some Dorothy.
My old friend, the hybrid Klaus, he just happened to show up out of the blue.
I personally, when I watch be a movie or a series or anything like that, where the main characters, right? Sometimes we introduce to the main characters little by little, not all at once, right? So that's fine with me. But what irritates me the most is that when you watch a show or you watch the first few minutes of the show and you ask yourself the questions, who's you? How do you know him? And stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yes, you're going to tell us the history moving forward, but it's boring when you have to guess how they know each other. Like right now, Elijah was like, what's his name again? Something vampire. And I'm like, okay, so you know him, and then he says your brother. It's a whole thing. I don't want to guess. If you want us to like be part of the show but not be part, like make like, oh goodness, okay, like what when we're watching the show as the audience, right? But we also not in the loop as the characters in the show. So every time a character finds out something new, we also find that at the same time. Sure. But with this one, it's boring me because we already know that the original family knows about this guy, right? But how? Like, if you showed us how they ended up in New Orleans 300 years ago, and then killed people, and then cut to the present.
Marcel, who Klaus sired and brought up beneath his own wing, now...
Not to be judgy, eh? And I'm not. Please, don't come for me, but I find baths. No, I don't care if it's bubble baths, if it's other baths. I just find baths filthy. You know what I mean? Ever since I watched Friends, when Chandler, like, it's just nasty to me. I don't know. It's like you sitting in your own dirt. But hey, if you love some bath, then you love some alone time. Do you?
Always and forever, Rebecca. That is what we once swore to each other.
Oh, so she doesn't like her sociopathic brother. Like, severing, brother and sister, sister and brother, brother and sister, relationships are very difficult, but this one is very unique. Like, he be killing people out of nowhere. So I understand, girl.
3 years later, he stuck a silver dagger in my chest and sent me into a magical slumber for 90 years.
90 years? So you've been sleeping like Elena for 90 years? Woo! 90? That's a lot of years. People don't even make it to... Oh, I'm gonna find it. I'm not gonna force it. But yo, 90 years. And he...
I'm Elijah.
Yes, he's Elijah. And he's still clean with his suit.
This is sacred ground, which means vampires have to be invited in.
From season 1, we were watching Vampire Diaries. Go check that one out. Not my best work, but why not, right? Anyway, from season 1, we came to find out that a vampire can enter someone else's home without being invited. So even a sacred ground they have to be invited. But I thought a sacred ground was for... So that means also a home is sacred? So...
She's pregnant, and the father of the child she's carrying is you.
Wait, I watched some Twilight, okay? Coming soon. But I've watched some Twilight, and I thought werewolves cannot get pregnant by vampires. Because I know Klaus is half a werewolf, half vampire. So where is the liquidness? Ew. Well, I did it as PG as possible, okay? So where is it? Like, do they swim? Or do they breaststroke? Or they're just there? Like, I'm asking because I thought as a vampire you cannot reproduce. I watched Twilight, okay? And I've also watched the Vampire Diaries, so I'm confused, dudes. Let me know.
Your brother Klaus.
It's impossible.
Exactly.
They call him the hybrid, right?
Okay, you're not going to do this to me. You're not gonna say that you're gonna tell the brother would say he fathered the child, your brother, right? And then he says it's impossible because he's a vampire, he cannot reproduce. And she's like, it's possible. He's the hybrid. There's a reason. I'm like, so meaning that hybrids can reproduce? We didn't know this. Okay.
Vampires are dead. They can't have children.
When this chick that brought him to the cemetery and she was like, this woman is pregnant, and he's like, it's impossible, and then she's like, this reason why they call him the hybrid, you know, and then he pauses for like 10 hours and says, let's have a minute alone. They go to the minute alone, and then she says he's dead, so how can he reproduce? And he's like, so now he has the information how he reproduced. But he was just said impossible like 5 seconds ago. Now he knows why he's... I'm like, guys, I like serious. All of a sudden now he knows the information how it was possible. All of a sudden now.
Our family was human. 1,000 years ago now. We were happy.
So in order to make it seem like it's 300 years ago, they changed the setting by them living in the woods. Then they put them in wigs so their hair is longer. And then with the makeup as well to make them more younger. And then with the outfit as the last resort. You gotta love show business, do ya? You gotta love it.
Help me.
Your dad was a dick.
We want to run Marcel and his vampires out of town. Klaus is the key.
Evening, Elijah.
Any Klaus?
Vampires cannot procreate.
But werewolves can.
Magic made you a vampire, but you were born a werewolf. And this pregnancy is one of nature's loopholes.
This thing is confusing me now. So, what we're saying now, that a vampire cannot it's confusing because he was a werewolf without knowing he was a werewolf while he was not a vampire. Then they were turned, then he came to find out that he's a werewolf. Wolves can reproduce, so they're not dead, they're alive. They're just dogs, they're huge dogs, right? So he can also reproduce because he's a werewolf first before he's a vampire. But yet at the same time, he's a vampire, which means that he's dead. So how do they cancel out each other? Because yes, he was a werewolf by blood, by birth, right? But he was changed to a vampire. That means vampires are dead. So he died to become a vampire. So like, hello, like he's dead. Isn't he not dead because he's a vampire? He was the reason why he became who he is, being a hybrid, whatever. He had to be a vampire in order to find out that he's a werewolf. So like confusement. Didn't they just have sex like yesterday? What's with the long pause in this show? The dramaticness of it all. They don't speak for 2 hours. Listen. Ding, 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 ding. There's no talking for 2 hours. Look at that turn.
We have ever wanted
Was a family.
You ever wanted.
Always, forever.
He has long teeth.
I am asking you to
Look at that. His teeth are long. I have really short teeth. His teeth are very thin and long and why am I talking about his teeth? Oh my gosh. Here.
No.
Sir, okay, where is he? This side. Sir, you really truly thought that your brother, the psychoness, was gonna say, okay, Elijah, I understand. Because you tell me about love and family and togetherness and power, I'm gonna automatically stop being a psycho and take this baby as my own. How pathetic are you, sir? Thousands of years of life and you handsome with that beautiful suit, but come on, let's be real. Guys, even I know this. And I'm not a vampire. I've only lived 5 years.
If I have to hurt Haley, or worse, to ensure that I have your attention, I will.
Because you're killing yourself in order to make a situation better or worse, in your opinion. Because you have to hurt yourself in order for you to hurt her. So, what is that? Like, what is that?
Your town.
Damn straight.
Just a pathetic little scrapper still trembling from the lashes of the whips of those who would keep you down.
I like what he's saying. He's like, the whips of the people. And like, you could have just said he was a slave. You could have just said that. Come on, let's not try to sugarcoat what he was before you knew him. Come on.
I'm the king! Show me some respect.
Only show respect. The acting of it all. Show me some respect.
I've broken one of your rules, that I cannot be killed. I am immortal.
So you just threatened someone that you can kill. You can't kill. It's stupid, isn't it? Because in the Vampire Diaries, that you cannot kill a vampire older than you, but you can kill a vampire younger than you. You know, because they're stronger, they've lived longer. Yeah, nah, he's immortal because he's half and half and half and half. So you legit threaten someone that you cannot kill yourself, and yet you threaten him. So smart.
I assume you know that bite will kill your friend within a matter of days. Apparently the blood of the hybrid will cure a werewolf bite.
walk away from this.
Let me go.
Did you see how he fell?
Right now you're the most important person in this family. We need a good home.
I will always protect you. Cell obviously has something that they need.
That's the stupidest thing that I realized the shows is that when the main character, one of the main characters against the other character, and they want something like what he's saying, he has something that they want, and then they show us as the audience what they want. Another thing, what are you doing? Another thing is that this show, as I've watched this one episode, is that it tries so hard. It doesn't know what it is. Do they let the audience in or do we not let the audience in? It's like that. Like in the beginning, we didn't know the relationship between Klaus and the overactor guy. And now then they tell us when we find out with the characters. They don't know what they want, but we now know what they want because they just showed us. The show doesn't know what to do with the audience. Should we tell the audience along with the characters, or should we let the characters and the audience find out at the same time?
Davina, as powerful as you are, they don't stand a chance.
One weakness that Marcel could exploit.
And what is that?
You. Mercy makes you weak.
So we're done with the first episode of season 1 of the originals. So we're just gonna jump to the second one. Oh, he's grew to love the baby.
Do you want to? And someone to fight for you, no matter what.
I'm mind boggled again. Because if a witch is strong enough to take a vampire original / werewolf to the skies, to the wall, and like force him to not do nothing, and yet he can kill you just like that. Like, I'm confused about the witch powers and the werewolf powers, because in the first episode, that Adina girl, Odessa, whatever her name is, was like, I don't want them to hurt you, Ngati. You're strong, but they cannot beat you. You know, the guy with the overacting, they cannot beat you. And I'm like, so she can kill original, but no one else can, but she can, just because she's Odessa. No, Odessa or Eugenia. That baby's too big to be
beautiful
born.
baby daughter.
It takes so long for dialogue to... Oh, they killed her! That pig runs in like that. Haley! Oh my gosh. That's with authority right there. Authorities. Your girlfriend, she did. Were they dating? I don't remember, because he's so like gut written. Even Klaus is like, Haley's dead. She dead.
You've been bitten.
Wow, he's being nice.
There's only enough here for one.
No, this has to be enough.
This has to be enough. Ugh, the acting, yo, so dramatics. Look at her face. She just reminds me of Jonas.
I have an arsenal.
Which is what, girl? Look at the long staring. Ugh. Like, I cannot stand the show with the staring. It's like, I have an arsenal.
I was bested.
You were bested.
We're bested!
What is bested?
Can make 1,000 cuts.
1,000 cuts sounds about right. I need to make Klaus bleed.
That was your fantasy, brother, not mine.
Brother, this was our hope. I let her in.
Oh, so he did love her. No, yeah, he did love her. He did love her. Okay. Ranzile, guys. He loved her.
I needed her and you've broken me.
Selfish. He's not turning into a newborn. Oh, she's a vampire now? It's all the babies that have to pay.
It's always the kids who pay.
Kids pay.
I pay.
They pay. Certain that you have the power to bring me back.
I do now.
This woman is easy manipulated. She has been living in the church basement for whatever months or whatever years it has been with the guy who overacts. And then she gets helped by, I think she gets helped by someone else. And now look at the father. The father's here manipulating her to bring him back to life, and he died. He's feeding her, I feel like he's feeding her all this information to turn against his son so he can go kill his son. And then Yana, she thinks that she's not easy manipulated because she's fed this thing. You go see she's the powerful witch and she can kill Klaus and all that situation.
I woke up in the church.
Died with the baby's blood still in your system. She's in transition.
Who's that?
You took my daughter so I would heal you and your friends.
They're not gonna kill him because he's the only black person in the show. Let me not be mean to a baby. The father's here. I'm gonna kill you again. Is you an abomination? Oh, he has the stick.
You brought me back to kill my son.
I brought you back to punish him.
We should have felt our mother's hand in this.
Brother, we fought every adversary in this town and we have won.
Guys, can we get over this? Come on. Can we finish? Can we finish?
To save our family.
If he finds out that you're back, kill this kid.
We just killed the baby.
We just have to sell it properly.
We are selling it, selling it. Another silence. Asuka.
Hello, sister.
Gosh. Ay.
Said he would have seen you dead.
What's her name?
Erica? Hope. Is Esther the mother, ne? Well, that's done. The originals, the spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. Final thoughts on this. It's very not understandable, meaning there's some inconsistencies with the original from the parent show to this one. I'm still confused on how Klaus can father a child and yet he's a vampire. I don't care if he was a werewolf first. The mere fact that he still died to become a vampire, but he can still reproduce just because he was born. It makes no sense to me, and it's stupid. I don't remember what happened during the season because I did watch it, I think last year if I'm not mistaken, and it was very forgettable. Apparently now the guy who overacts is part of them. Kudos to you. And the girl who was trapped in a church basement for whatever, now she's trying to insert her power through the father, and the father's just bitter. I don't think you should hate your son that much. You know what I mean? Like come on. Like what's with the hatred, dude? My guy, you need to get a life, even though you're dead. Yeah, and the mother, I don't know who the mother is. I don't remember. But yeah, there's some inconsistencies and some okay moments and some okay moments. So yeah, that was the original. Between the two, season 1 of Vamps and this one, I don't know, 50-50 I guess. So yeah, okay, whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye.